Hi, this particular video is towards the end of the playlist on solving inequalities. It's going to be around about an A grade GCSE, at probably around about level 7 on the new curriculum. And what it's asking us to do is to solve for x, in other words find the value that's bounded by this particular inequality. So the way to do that is that I'm going to treat the two sides as completely separate, and then I'm going to treat them both as linear equations. If you're not sure about how to do that, have a look at the playlist on linear equations and you'll be able to hopefully follow this through. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say minus 2 is less than 3x over 5, and at this point I'm going to completely ignore the right hand side of the inequality. So on this side I've got a denominator of 5. Well, it's just kind of easier if I get rid of that denominator, so I'm going to multiply both sides through by 5, because if I do that it means I can lose that one and I just get on the right hand side 3x. On the left hand side I get times 5 times minus 2, which is going to be minus 10. Okay, so I've got minus 10 is less than 3x, 3 values of x. I need to get one value of x. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides through by 3. If I do that, on the left hand side I get minus 10 over 3, and on the right hand side I just get x on its own, which is exactly right for what I'm looking for. Excellent. So now what I need to do is do exactly the same on the right hand side. So I can write that as 3x over 5, and that's less than 7. Well, again, I'm going to treat it in the same way as a linear equation. I'm going to multiply both sides through by 5, because if I do that I get rid of this denominator. And on the left hand side then I get 3x is less than 7 times 5 is 35. So I've got 3 lots of x is 35. I want to get 1 lot of x, so I'm just again going to divide through by 3, and I get x is less than 35 divided by 3. I can write simply as 35 over 3, and that's perfectly fine. You'll see here I've left these as fractions. That's fine. You don't need to convert them to decimals or to mixed numbers. In terms of these sort of questions, it's perfectly good to leave them through as top-heavy fractions. Okay, so I now need to just join these two together, and I can write it out as a complete inequality, which is minus 10 is less than x, which in turn is less than 35 over 3, and that will be the answer to this particular question. Okay, I hope that's been okay for you. It is a little bit complex to follow, but if you imagine that you're dealing with one side of the equation first and then the other side of the equation second, and then bring it together at the end, that will work perfectly well. I hope that's okay for you. Please do add a comment below and I'll always come back to you. I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.